Today's episode is brought to you by Kratzmann Caravans and RV Super Centre on the Bruce Highway out there at Burpengary. If you need a caravan or an RV, you just say, you listen to Inside Ball, you go out there, you head out to Burpengary, head north, and Kev, what do? You go, I want a caravan. It's that easy. I don't want to muck around. They're the best in the business. Now, before June 30, they had all these deals. We all know how it works. Just go out there and say, listen, give us the June 30 deal. I'm sure you'll be able to negotiate. They're the best in the business. They want to sell caravans and RVs. Brand new, used. They've got them all there. Kratzmann Caravan, they are the best in the business. And tell them Kevie sent you and Dobbo sent you. You'll get an even bigger discount, especially if you say me, because they love me out there. Go Kratzmann's Caravans. We love the fact that you're part of Inside Ball and that we're a big supporter of Kratzmann Caravan. I think we're doing a show from a caravan shortly.
We are, mate.
We can't wait.
Caravan, though.
Yeah, we're going up to Noosa. We're going up to Noosa to look for crocodiles. Kratzmann, we're towing our Kratzmann Caravan all the way up there. We can't wait. Big part. Their RV centre out there at Burpengary. Get out there today.
Right, our Inside Ball guests, we got a Bronco, we got the Broncos captain on board today, and also, first of all, Adam Reynolds, welcome to the podcast, mate.
Thanks, Kevie.
How you going? Geez, you're looking fit and healthy.
Oh, I'm getting there. Back into the years. Time to dial in, so.
Right, and what about what's happening with you, mate? I know you've got lots going on the field.
And he's a fashion designer.
Yeah, look at these.
He's a fashion designer. I mean, this bloke, seriously. Pots.
Socks,
What do you got here?
Actually,
what, we're going to start by gifts.
Yeah, we're going to tell you first.
Oh, little startup. It was a dream a few years ago, and I thought, you know what, I had too much time on my hands and never got around to doing it. And then obviously come up to Brisbane. Love fashion, love clothes. Thought stop buying them, start making them. And it's good to see people wearing them yourselves. I know, Kevin, you got yours for free, but Dobbo will be paying for his.
Yeah, we're going to get into Ren and like.
Now this is a running hat.
Running hat.
You haven't got a running hat on. What?
He's not a runner.
He's not a runner, right?
No, you want to bet?
Cyclist,
mate. But you've got to dodge the snakes.
That's not even funny, mate.
Just watch out for the snakes.
Hey, listen. Don't start. Hey, listen.
He nearly died, mate.
Yeah, he knows. He was one of the few blokes that came and visited me in hospital. He didn't.
The boy from the bush reckons he's not scared of snakes. But.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Can we just talk about this? I had to paper my shirts. Like Amity, myself, the whole crew, we all bought shirts.
Oh, that's
rocked up, and you've got Well, you got a freebie.
I was instrumental in getting Adam Reynolds to Brisbane, mate. So I reckon free shirts.
We will get to that. We will get to that.
Two sides of the story, mate. A bagger and a supporter. So.
All right.
Where are we starting with this?
I reckon we'll start from the very beginning. A Redfern boy done good.
Yeah.
How did it begin, mate? Give us your story. Your mum and dad, I know they're up here now, and your brother is in Sydney. But how did it all begin, brother?
Born in Camperdown, Sydney. Mum and dad, my brother lived in a small unit in Redfern, across the road from Redfern Oval. Not the flashest of joints.
In a unit?
Yeah, Housing Commission unit.
Wow.
2-bedroom, so it was pretty crammed in there. And then obviously a few years later, Dad witnessed a pretty horrific murder, or what say about that?
In Redfern? In
the unit across from us. So moved up the road to Waterloo. Yeah, I lived for however many years.
In a unit again, or did you get
a bit bigger house? Yeah, right. It was still Housing Commission, but three bedrooms, so there's a bit more space. Me and my brother and parents, so we made do with what we had, and met some amazing people along the way. One of my best mates lived across the road from me, Dennis Riley. So obviously from there went to Matraville Sports High School. Met some incredible people. Met my wife, Talara.
At school?
At school, yeah. Wasn't much work being done, but...
Hey, Ren, can I ask you, just jumping in, and growing up in the Housing Commission, but you didn't know any different. Like, it sounds like, you had a great... I've talked to you about it. You had a great upbringing. Like, although you didn't have a lot of money, you had a really close mum and dad and your brother. You were all close. Yep. Your normal would have been like any kid. Like, you didn't know. Now you're looking at it and what you've been able to do for your kids. You probably look back and go, gee whiz, what we did tough. But if I'm honest in saying, I know there was a lot of crime and Redfern was a tough place, but you had a great upbringing.
Yeah, it did. Mum and Dad gave us everything we could have wanted. I was pretty happy with a footy in hand. Me and my brother running around the streets or kicking balls wherever in the house. We had footy jerseys and footies. That was pretty much what we had, a PlayStation. We thought that was the bee's knees of everything. But no, I'm actually proud to be from that upbringing. I think if I didn't experience that sort of lifestyle, I don't know if I'd be here today. Met some amazing people, you know, who shaped me into the person I am. And obviously from those, you know, early memories, I can, you know, share them with my kids, obviously trying to give them a better future. But I think you need to reflect on the past and, you know, love from where you're from.
Were you a Rabbit supporter then? Like when you were growing up, like obviously before you started playing rugby league, what team was it? Was it because you were?
Yeah, it was South, and then obviously South got kicked out of the comp, so found a soft spot for the Tigers there, and you know, came to love players like Benji, Brett Hodgson, Joel Kane back then. He was a goal kicker.
Jolie Kane.
Goal kicking. When did it start? Because you're the best in the league, right? So when did you start goal kicking? How old were you?
Pretty much as soon as I
Straight
could
away.
walk. Yeah, I think we had those little soft footies back in the day from Macca's or wherever you get them, and would sit it on a tea towel at home and kick over the bench, which mum and that used to get annoyed with. She'd be cooking, I'd be pretty much aiming at her while she's cooking. But
so what? You fold up the tea towel,
put it on top, and
that's your kicking tee.
Yeah, that was my kicking tee.
Did you ever you never use sand? Did you in your career?
Yeah,
Was
through
it phased out or not? By then?
Early days of footy, used a bit of sand.
Did you like the wet sand or the dry sand? Wet sand, yeah.
Put a little hole.
See, I'm an old ball from way back.
Yeah.
Little hole in the top, you know.
Yeah.
Give it a bit of
to hold it. So, mate, first place you ever played football and first junior football team, your first memory?
St. Peter's. So Dad was heavily entrenched to the club there. It was sort of dying out when I got into it, but my first game was with my brother out at Macquarie Fields. So it was a trial game out there. I didn't do too much. I actually scored a try on my first
touch
carry.
Yeah. Wow.
And then whenever I got tackled, I pretty much cried after that. So between that and picking up grass and throwing it at people running past me, so not much has changed.
So you go to Matraville High, and it's very well-known sports school. Like, you know, like there's got like.
Yep.
When does Adam Reynolds know, hang on, like, you know, you're in love with Tyra and you're both young, but hang on, I'm going to have to try and make something of football and I'm good enough to go that way. Were you in the rep teams going through and were you talked about? Like you hear all these kids now, like, you know, they're 16,
in
17.
the systems. Were you in the South system?
Yeah, I was in the junior bunnies. So junior bunnies runs from 13s right through.
So in all those age groups coming through?
Yeah, made all those teams. There was a thing called Sydney East, Sydney Red, Sydney Gold and all that. Presidents. I made a few of those sides. Made New South Wales 17s. And made New South Wales schoolboys. So
didn't get the Australian schoolboys gig.
No.
Who beat you?
There. Jordan Rankin got me.
Jordan Rankin?
Yeah.
He could play.
I think he played first grade.
He played first grade
18
still.
or something
And
like
then they banned it after that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it was it was a good experience. We had a great side. Probably New South Wales 17s was the highlight for me through that schoolboy system. We won the Arrive Live Cup, which was a great honour. Had a fair side there. And
Well, who else was in that side with you, Reyno? Can you remember?
Shandor Earl, Martin Kennedy.
Right.
We had a lot of players who was playing 20s at the time, so we didn't really kick on and play first grade, too many of them. But
good through that age.
Yeah,
very good
great
players.
through that age. Yeah.
Wow. Did you have any like guys that you looked up to growing up and wanted to be like them, or any of the superstars in the game that you?
Benny Jones he went to school with me and we played through that time. Arana Tamata, he was one that was close to first grade as well. So you sort of hang on to those blokes who are, you know, on their way to making grade and, you know, seeing what they were doing at training or what they were doing away from training for their diet or whatnot. So you take a little bit from them. My brother was a big influence on me through the early stages.
How much older? He's a couple of years older.
2 years older than me, yeah. He made a few rep teams early on. Unfortunately for him, he kept getting injured. So he was pretty much wiped out through injury.
Yeah.
But could he have made it if he was? I know you've talked about him a lot, like, you know, and could he have made it? Was he that good growing up?
Yeah, I think so. In the right system, I think he was a 5'8" growing up, and then they sort of moved him to a hooker. He was known for his defence, something I'm not.
Most halfbacks aren't 5'8". We all can't tackle, like seriously.
So he got the good traits. Unfortunately, I got the kicking game and whatnot, but he's a great kicker himself too. So I think, he was competing with Eddie Payer. Eddie Payer obviously went on and played first grade for South, a few other players, but he was just as good, if not better.
So you and Talara, had you had your first child before you'd made your debut?
20s. I had my daughter, it was 07, 08, 09, so 2009.
Yeah.
A day before we played Manly, I remember it.
In under 20s?
Yeah.
So you hadn't made your first grade debut at this stage?
No, not at
And you played?
that stage.
You had
Yeah. Me and
that wouldn't happen nowadays.
there was a South trainer who was, he had a daughter on the same day as well, I think a daughter. Grant, he was our head of strength and performance. And I remember walking out of the hospital, and he's walking out at the same time. So what are you doing here, mate? He said, I've just had a kid, mate. I'm off to go and do the game now. I said, yeah, can you give us a lift? Which I didn't need a lift. It was a bit of a joke. But, went out there, played the game, and then obviously got home and, spent some time with the kids.
Talara was 17, am I right in saying that?
Yep.
When she had, and she was still at school?
She went to, so she left Matraville to go to a different sort of school out at La Perouse there.
Yeah. And so, mate, very young. You guys aren't married. You haven't played.
Yeah.
You're coming from a housing commission. It probably seems like normal now, but you look at your own kids now.
It's pretty crazy now. I think my daughter's 16 or just about turned 16. I think a year off having a baby, there's no way in the world.
She'll be having a baby.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. So to think that I was in that position and
so young.
Yeah, so young, and obviously my wife's quite mature, a lot more mature than I am. So
mature than you.
It's not hard.
Most of them are, though. In fact, some of them let's not even go there. Right? We'll just
they outgrow them. I've had a couple who've done that. But anyway.
Just park it there, Dobbo. We're here for Reyno, mate. All right? Not your life story. This is Reyno's.
So, mate, those days, and we get to...
So you got a baby. Where'd you all live? We got a baby.
So we lived at home with mum and dad and in Waterloo there.
In the three-bedder?
A year or two, yeah. We were right up the top, so it was sort of a 4-level house. So you go in through the lounge room, downstairs kitchen and whatnot, dining. You go up to my brother's room, up again to mum and dad's, and up to my room, which I had sort of a good shaped room. So I had a square pretty much, and then I had a little rectangle. So that was pretty much the baby area. So
wow. Jeez, eh?
We made do. It was actually quite fun. Obviously, mum and dad love being grandparents, as you'd know.
Yeah.
There's probably no better feeling being a grandparent and what they've told me. But
other than being a parent, next best is
but they were great help. So.
So you're playing 20s. Were you working? What did you survive?
Yeah, I was working on Leichhardt Council.
That'll be a tough job. Alfie, all these halfbacks got council jobs.
No, he had to work.
Seriously?
He actually had to work.
Stop-go sign, or what were you doing?
No, I was in the truck doing parks and gardens. So.
Oh, you stayed in the truck too. You didn't get out.
I was on the ride-on lawnmower. So.
Right. Really?
All the other blokes were carrying the whippersnippers and everything up the streets.
Wow.
So South get you that gig? Is that like you're under 20 cents?
Dad was on Leichhardt Council, so he worked at Leichhardt, but I went over to the Balmain side. He'd been there previously, so I did a bit of work there. I think it was work experience through school or whatnot.
And you were that good, they got you back, eh?
I was that good, mate. The grass has never been better. So.
How good. Now, before we get your playing career at South, the Rabbitohs got thrown out of the competition at one point there. And in 2006, was that 2005? What year did they get thrown out?
98 they got thrown.
98, thrown out, right? In 2006, Russell Crowe and Peter Holmes of Court, they bought the club. But you know how much they paid?
No.
$3 million.
To buy the South brand.
In 2006.
Can you remember that when they came back?
Did you march with them all?
I didn't march. I was too young at the time, so...
But you remember all of that?
I remember it, yeah, I remember it.
How did you feel as a young kid, when your team's been turfed out of the comp?
Yeah, it's hard because obviously, especially where I'm from, everyone lives sort of week to week on the result.
Well, they were all the people are in the streets. That's my memory of it all.
Yeah, well, it wasn't just South supporters. It was, Balmain, West supporters.
Different jerseys everywhere. Just
there was a lot of teams.
South.
Yeah, there was a lot of teams sort of going through it at the time. North Sydney, mergers and all this sort of stuff, and to see the support not only of the South fans but rugby league fans in general was
Yeah.
probably, the highlight that sticks out. And, it was a tough time. Obviously, the areas live on the week-to-week grind of football. They share the results as much as the players. And for them to not be able to support their team, for the good part of 2 years.
I just remember seeing George Piggins all the time on telly. And
yeah, well, George is the main reason why, they got back into the competition. So.
And have you got a favourite Russell Crowe story you can share with us? One that we can publish, obviously.
Yeah. Russell, he's a passionate man. He loves.
Are you still mates with him now, Russell?
Yeah, he hasn't sent me a text for a while. We still do.
Even though you're playing for the
Funny that.
No, but he was good, mate. He was really entrenched in that. He loves
the Book of Feuds and all that.
Book of Feuds, yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell us one of that? Like the Roosters, obviously. That's the book.
Yeah, I used to quite enjoy it when he'd bring out the Book of Feuds. You'd see him, it's every so often.
Blow the dust off and all that.
Yeah, he'd open the book, he'd read a story, and
how good's that?
he'd blow the dust off and read the story and fire you up for the game.
Would have fired you up, surely. Like I've seen some of his vision. Like that was me sitting there and Russell Crowe's, saying, geez, you got to fire up.
Unfortunately, some of the best speeches come on captain's run, so
right.
You tend to go off a bit early, but no, they're memories that stick with you forever, and obviously, grateful to, have those sort of people in your life.
Right.
So you go through. Tell us about this. How it happens. Madge comes to the club, and he's obviously looking to change South, and he's talked about it. One of the decisions is that he gives Adam Reynolds his start round one, and the rest is history. Can we just talk about that pre-season, how that went about?
It was a bit of a different pre-season for me. I was coming off an ACL, so I'd missed pretty much a year and a half of footy. Done my ACL in the last, just before captain's run of the trials in 2011, so competing against Chrissy Sandale. So I missed that whole year. I'd spent pretty much 8 to 10 months rehabbing, and then obviously find that you're getting a new coach. So firstly, I was unsure if I was going to be at the club when I'd done the ACL, and credit to them, they pretty much got onto it straight away and gave me another contract. So they believed in me.
So who was that?
That was Mark Ellison.
Mark Ellison.
Big dough, mate. Like, I mean, Heartbreak, what are you talking, 50 grand, somewhere like that?
Yeah, minimum wage, 52,000, I think it was.
Yeah.
So I had that contract the year before, and they pretty much guaranteed the same contract again. So to them showing faith in me after a big injury like that was something that I held close to me and wanted to repay them for obviously the trust. And obviously when you hear about you getting a new coach, you're unaware of if he's got the same beliefs and whatnot of everyone that's in that system that you've spent time with. And he pretty much got in from day one and said it's a blank page. You'll pick yourself in the team if you train good throughout the preseason, you prove yourself. And for me, it was just about putting my head down, working hard, and trying to not only prove Madge that I was worthy of playing, but my teammates as well.
So you're on the blank page. You get selected round one, and that's against your arch rival, the Roosters.
Yep.
Lead up to the week. I mean, we all know what happened that day, but just talk us through that day and that game.
I sort of got an inkling that I'd be playing Charity Shield. I think Madge likes to pick his best teams the trial before the main game, and to be named in that team was pretty exciting. I get to play with players like Isaac Luke, Greg Inglis, Sam Burgess, Johnny Sutton, some really household names.
Iconic, yeah.
Royce Tarsi.
Big Roy, that's right. I forgot about him.
Michael Crocker, the list goes on. Yeah. So we had a fair side. And to be given the keys to sort of, control that team was exciting for me, yeah. Really enjoyed it. Had a little scrap with Dan and Kemp at the end there, which is nice and fun, yeah.
Bloke in the bar, eh?
Yeah, we have a little laugh about it. When we always...
What'd you punch on with him?
No, it was a little push and shove. I think he got the better of me at the end of the game. We tried to get on a shift or something, and he come out of line and tried to shot you. Yeah, the young kid. Picks on young kids.
He's a bully.
But no, it was... from that game, I pretty much had a feeling that it'd be in the team round one, but you're never quite sure until you get the nod. And I remember Madge pulled me aside in the hallway and just said that he'd be going with me for round one, and sort of all the emotions of what you go through as a kid, you know, the long runs in the streets that no one sees, the hours you spend down the park kicking footies with your mates or your brother, all that sort of comes flashing back in one moment. And to let the family know that I'll be playing.
So how many kids did you have at this point, Reyno?
Two at this stage.
Just the two, eh? 20 well, you're 20 years of age, 21?
20.
2 kids playing NRL.
Unbelievable.
Living the dream. Talking about living the dream.
Earning 52 grand living with mum and dad.
Yeah.
That game, I mean, you know, at the end, the Roosters won it.
Yeah.
In the final minute, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He might have had something to do with that reason why we all took us through.
I missed the tackle on Minicello at the end there.
Did you?
Which I probably could have tackled him without the ball and copped the 10.
10 in the bin.
Hindsight's a good thing, but...
Yeah, well, that's learning, mate.
Did you think after that, like, you played very well that day? Like, you know, bar the tackle, which I've stirred you up about plenty of times, but... Do you then in that moment go, oh, no, that's over? But I think Madge said to you, mate, you know, you're it now. I'm going to literally hand you the keys.
Yeah, he pretty much grabbed me aside. You know, everyone's pretty dirty when they get back into the sheds. We've just lost on the bell round 1. So he got in there and reassured everyone that, look, we're on the right path. It's going to take time and, you know, we just need to stick at it and keep doing what we're doing. And sure enough, you know, I think we lost the next game or so or 2 later, but out of that, we become pretty good. And for him to show that faith obviously gives players confidence. And, you know, to go on a run that we did that year was pretty special.
Very good. You had a great year. And then you had 2012, your first year.
2012, yeah.
Yeah. And so you're goal kicking and you've taken over everything?
Yeah, general play kicker, goal kicker, pest of the team.
What's the best thing about goal kicking, Reyno? I'm always intrigued by the good goal kickers. What do you enjoy most about it?
I think it's a time where you can just personally zone in. It's probably the only time in the game it becomes a bit of an individual sport. I think you get the interaction with the fans, you know, the pressure moments, you know, everything sort of rides on that one kick. And
have you got a favourite goal kick in your time?
Yeah, there's
still a lot more to come yet.
There's a few. I think the game-winning one's always special.
Yep.
I think 2014 grand final when I think we're up by 10 or 12 and we kick that, we know we're not going to get beat. So I think that one sticks out.
You've had some big kicks in your career.
Had some big misses as well.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing that up, Ben.
Hey, that's goal kicking. That's why
we will bring them up. We will bring them up.
Intriguing.
Yeah, I know.
Goal kicking is so important, and that's one of the reasons why I went to Sydney to grab Adam. Not obviously he's a great player, but also I think your intelligence is not so much underrated, but you know, like Cameron Smith's a great captain because he knows the rules. Yeah. He knows how to get advantages on the rules, and I know that you're the same type of captain. You're very smart with your captain's choice, you know, when you get the call on whether it's whatever play it is. And you're very smart with that stuff. Is that just a natural thing for you or is it?
Well, I'm a bit of a nerd of the game. I watch pretty much every game every weekend. So I think it's important to know the rules as players. I think.
Yeah, but you get it right so many times, you little bugger. Like, it's just... You know what I'm talking about?
No, I know.
Cameron Smith used to influence
referees. Well, this is those kind of blokes. We'll get to South Sydney, 14. I mean, 13. Everybody knows. I think that's one you left.
You're arriving because I was at the Melbourne Storm.
Yeah, these guys should have won 13, and I think you guys, even all the South players, it definitely got you 14. But there was one that you let go.
Yeah, we had a good season. I remember the run that year and thinking that we were the best team in the competition. It felt like that throughout the whole season. We let a game go to win the minor premiership against the Roosters. I remember we had a few opportunities late. And we just couldn't quite nail them, but we took a lot of confidence out of that game moving forward. We got to the prelim and got up to a 12-0 lead or so against Manly, and we learned a lot of lessons out of that game. We stopped playing football. We tried to protect the lead rather than play. And for me, that was a big thing, a big learning out of that game was you've still got to put the foot on the throat. You've still got to have that mentality. You need to score points. You still need to play your brand of football. And unfortunately that year we learnt the hard way by obviously trying to protect it. And look, credit to Manly on that night. They were outstanding. I think Wolfman scored an unbelievable try in the corner. Glenn Stewart was at his best.
Yeah.
Well, they were a good side of it as well.
Real good.
Yeah. And if you look forward, they probably should have won the comp that game. They probably let that one go. That they'd be dirty on too. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember the competition was so close. The Roosters were a great side. Manly were a great side. We were good. Storm were a great side.
Yeah. Brisbane would have had half. They were always in finals.
They were there. They were
finals and
competing.
thereabouts.
So it was a really tight competition. But we thought that we were the team, and obviously we carried that disappointment over into 14.
And 43 years.
Wow.
2014, 43-year drought. You win the grand final, and there's iconic vision. I mean, we know the Burgess collision to start off with.
Broken cheek.
GI scoring that try.
John Sutton, captain.
You scored a try as well that night as well.
Yeah.
You got a try there.
Filthy. Dad reckons he had some money on me last try scorer, so GI stole that. But
He scored on the 80th minute, didn't he? GI.
yeah, no, GI scored. It was a great way to finish the game. I mean,
But you belted them. Like it's good feeling. 15
yeah,
minutes?
I wouldn't say we belted them. I think there was parts of that game where it was quite even.
Yeah.
I think they scored a try to make it 6-6, and I think they were camped down on our line for 10, 15 minutes, so it could have went either way. Defended it, and then obviously scored a try, and that sort of deflates the opposition.
Yeah.
And then from there we sort of got on a roll, but I felt in control of that game from the first minute to the last minute. It felt like we're never going to get beaten. That was the feeling throughout the whole semi-finals.
Yeah.
We'd done a job on Manly, who were red hot at the time. I think we're beating them 30-0 at half-time in the first week of finals. We came back from 12-0 down to beat the Roosters quite convincingly, and then obviously the grand final. But sort of the wave of emotion through, the fans, the members, sort of just carried us throughout that week.
Yeah. What about the TO player? Was that the game that he came off the bench?
The semi was TO's. It was his breakout.
Ben said to mention that to you. Do you remember him coming off the bench and destroying the opposition?
Yeah, well, he's the original, the difference. So he spent a large amount of weeks on the sideline preparing for that. But, luckily we had him because he did come on. He did come on and make an impact.
Can I ask you, your best mate in rugby league is Isaac Luke. He presented you your 300 jersey.
Yeah.
To me, Isaac Luke is South Sydney. I really feel for him, and I know
he missed the game.
He missed the game. Yeah,
was he injured or
knee injury?
Suspended.
Suspended was it?
Suspended, yeah.
How? I know he was there. I know Appy played.
Yeah.
But it's something that both of you would have loved to. I'm sure you've talked about it together.
It's hard. Obviously, I don't think the suspension was warranted. I think he sort of lifted Sonny Bill the week before, and Sonny landed on his elbow or whatnot. And I think Sonny came out in defence and said that it wasn't warranted of a suspension. But obviously, the rest of all that's out of our control as players.
But he got you guys. So much of what Isaac Luke did that year got you guys
into that
position.
Not only that year, but the years leading into that. I think. The resurgence of the club from, wooden spooners to right through to the grand final, I think he was a big part of that. Him, Sutto, Roy Asatasi, Michael Crocker, these fellas sort of lifted the club off the ground to get it back to success. And for him to miss the grand final,
heartbreaking.
It was heartbreaking, yeah. And all the players sort of felt that. And credit to Isaac, he turned up to training every day after the hearing at the suspension and got
good energy and
got on with the job. Yeah, helped Appy throughout the week, and
because Appy would have been just a kid. Like how I was like 20.
Yeah, well, Appy was in reserve grade at the time, and they'd finished in the semis or before the semis, and he'd pretty much gone out partying for the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, right.
Credit to him, he had to get himself,
back in playing game mode,
playing conditions. Yeah, pretty quick, and he was outstanding for us in the grand final. But through Isaac, he wasn't going to make it about himself. And the best part about that is we got to share a moment on the field after the game, myself and Isaac, and pretty much embraced each other at full time. And he was still a few tears. He was still a massive part of the game, and I don't think if he wasn't there, I don't know if we still get the result. But they had their concerns as well. Mick Ennis didn't play through injury, so there was a bit of
What about back at the Leeds Club? That must have been unbelievable. I've seen some vision of you guys up on a stage somewhere and just people.
Crazy.
Yeah, well, South Juniors, for anyone who's been there, is only, the walk from the end of South Juniors to the main door is probably 50, 60 metres, and it probably took us 40 minutes to get there. So,
right.
I mean, there was 15 to 20,000 people outside the juniors at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, which I'm sure the residents were happy about.
Oh, they wouldn't have cared, Reyno, really.
Oh, most of them would have been there.
Yeah. 46 years since your last premiership.
But I remember getting back there. The fans were out the front. Friends and family were in the auditorium, so we sort of went up and had a moment on the balcony where we could overlook.
Oh, that might have been the vision that I saw.
The crowd, yeah. That was awesome. They passed the microphone around to all the players to say a few thank yous and whatnot, and
glory to South Sydney.
Sung the song on the team.
What about that song? It just stays with everyone, doesn't it? Hey.
But then to go backstage and be presented in the auditorium to our friends and family was the highlight, I think.
Yeah.
The families who ride or die with the results
every week.
Yeah, and to see so many familiar faces in that room was a good feeling.
Is that where you got the rabbit on your foot? The tat, the rabbit after the premiership, or did you have the rabbit before?
I can't remember what day that was, but
it was after that.
Yeah,
you got the rabbit.
After that,
Was there a few of us that went in, or just you boys?
Yeah, it was a few of us. So I'd sort of teed up with my tattoo place, which was in Darlinghurst at the time, that we'd head in at some stage. And funny story out of that, I went to the guy that I usually go to, and a few of the boys went to him, and there were so many of us waiting around that Chris McQueen went and got the apprentice to do his, and he was sort of laying, put the stencil on, and he's laying up with his arm or whatnot in the air, and he's giving the thumbs up, and she's done it. I think he got the stencil put on with his arm up, which you should never do that. It should be in the resting spot.
Yeah.
And it turned out looking like a guinea pig. So
he's got a guinea pig now.
He's thanked me his whole pretty much life from that point on. That he's got his guinea pig as
his memento.
Yeah.
Wow. What year was it? 2016. You made your debut for New South Wales. I mean, your football was very good. You win a premiership. You're a premiership half. I think we all would agree that you probably should have played more, and in your own, you would have liked to have played more. But your Origin debut,
it was sort of weird. Because I had come off a few injuries. I broke my jaw in round one. I think I broke my thumb, so I didn't get too many games throughout the 16 season prior to Origin. Mitchell Pearce had that incident where, I thought he was harshly done by to miss so much football and Origin potentially.
So he was the halfback in 2015 for Origin?
Trent Hodkinson was.
Trent Hodkinson and
Josh
Reynolds, yeah.
Yeah. They were the halves. They won it in 14. Just missed in 15, and then obviously I got the nod in 16. So, it was a great week. I loved the build-up to Origin. I loved everything about the game, the physicality and whatnot. I was sort of at a stale point in my career where I was getting over rugby league a little bit. And then obviously to get the nod and play the 2 games in that series sort of reignited the fire. So thanks to Kevie and his men.
Well, yeah, that was a red hot side, you're up against.
Yeah,
and it was such a tight series.
Yeah, it was.
We were lucky.
Good on you, Kev. You're a winner, mate. You make sure it doesn't matter who it is, you win.
We'd lost game 1 6-4.
Yeah.
And I thought we had the better game as a team. I thought we had 2 disallowed tries. One, I thought.
Oh, here we go. Reyno,
go back and watch it, Kev.
We'll go back here. Here we go. Let's go up there.
Game 2 was certainly done by a better team. And then game 3, we'd won. Obviously, it was a dead rubber.
No such thing as a dead rubber. Right?
No, I know that, but there's a lot of pride to play for in that game. Yeah. And I got ruled out with injury and won game 3. So that was sort of my Origin career. But I'm just happy I played 1 game. And to be a part of an Origin series is pretty special.
Sack coach, yeah. And you guys get Siebes.
Yep.
That would have been a tough period for the club.
Yeah, Madge goes, he gets sacked. He's a premiership coach.
Wayne could have been coming.
So
much going on.
Yeah, and then they got Siebes, and then Siebes goes, and that time was hard. Like, there was a lot going on.
Well, you lost a lot of players too, didn't you? Sam Burgess went to rugby. Ben Teo went to rugby.
Yeah, they went straight after the grand final.
Straight after the grand final.
Wow. We started 15 on a high. We'd won the Nines. We'd won the World Club Challenge.
Yeah, I can tell you in 2015 you came to Suncorp Stadium and you belted the shit out of the Bronco because I was on the stadium.
Yeah. First game, round one.
And I
30 points.
38-6.
Greg Inglis scored that try.
I remember. And
No,
that was 14.
That was later on. No, that was
16, was it?
14.
that was a bit later. But this was, so 50, I remember the game.
Yeah, I do as well.
And I'm back at the Broncos with Wayne.
It was round one.
Round one, and I'm sitting in the dressing room after the game thinking, well, shit, that's what the Broncos used to do to teams.
You know what?
When you're the premiers.
Yeah.
Or in that top echelon of teams, which you were, so, and you just absolutely belted us.
Yeah, we'd had an extremely big preseason and we wanted to do something special. Like no team had gone back to back since
for a
the
long time.
Broncos. Yeah, so a lot of that was our focus was trying to get back to the big dance and win it again. And I think we put so much energy and effort into preseason and starting the year on a high that I think we'd sort of run out of gas.
You fell off a cliff.
Yeah, fell off a cliff.
And then I remember, we played you late in the season and we beat you at the old Sydney Football Stadium. And I thought, well, that's what I thought.
Yeah, they're cooked.
No, not their.
Oh, you guys.
I thought the Broncos they're going to get on a run here.
Yeah,
which
they did.
Special.
Which they did, mate. Your football was. I'm not going to say bad. It was just. It wasn't Adam Reynolds like through those periods of time. It's still a lot of ups and downs. Madge gets sacked. Siebes comes. Siebes that whole up that goes.
Well, Wayne and Seabold swapped, don't they?
Yeah, well, you get Wayne, and I reckon it changed your footy. I think Wayne coming there changed your footy. Would that be fair?
Yeah, it did. I think we had a great year in 18. I think it was Siebes' first year.
Yeah,
we made the prelim. We got beat by the Roosters, who went on to win it. We probably still didn't play our best footy that year. I think we found our identity again, though, as a team, as a club, and to get so close, obviously, fuels the fire again. And then your coach leaves. It's like, you've all done that for pretty much nothing. You got to rebuild and start again. And I was lucky enough to spend a camp or two with the All Stars with Wayne, and sort of knew what sort of a coach he was and the style. And Sam Burgess was a huge fan of his, obviously being coached by him in England, and so it was exciting. It was exciting to get Wayne to the club. You hear a lot of great stories about Wayne and just how relaxed he is, and sort of the personnel that we had at the club. I think that would suit. So,
am I right in saying the first training session there, because you guys, Siebes loves the music. He loves the ghetto blaster and the music.
Yeah.
And Wayne gets there and there's all this music going, and Wayne's like trying to look. He didn't understand it was coming because these guys used to train with music.
Yeah.
Wayne just said, turn that shit off. It's never happening again. Is that right?
He pretty much walked in and ripped the cord out. Anything rap or hip hop.
His own music on.
Yeah, he walked in and said, give me the thing, I'll put my own music on. So all this 80s and 60s and all these slow songs. And boys are trying to throw some testosterone around in the joint. And
now, this one's probably going to go back in time, but I remember the game and you scored the winning try. Right, you were down. It was against the Roosters. I'm not sure what year it was.
2012.
2012.
Yeah.
Do you remember that game, Dobbo?
Yeah.
So you were down, and then what's the big fella? He caught it from the kickoff.
Dave Taylor.
Dave Taylor.
Yeah.
Like, tell us about Big Dave and that moment in that game. Like,
there's moments throughout the year, and you just scratch your head and go, "How's that possible?" Like, we go back to round one where they beat us, Minicello on the bell.
Is that when you missed the tackle?
That's
when I missed the tackle. So. Full circle moment. End up scoring the try in that game. I didn't have to do too much, but
no, you did because you're instrumental in that try as well. Like I just remember the commentator Reynolds,
Warren Smith.
I just remember Warren Smith calling out your name, and then that's the game, innit? I got it right.
Yeah, you got the game.
And you scored the try, and then you ran over to your supporters.
Yeah, so
in the crowd, like that must.
We scored with probably a minute to go. Sutto just threw a long ball to, I think it was Merrow, and then Merrow scored under the post. And we had one set, so it was too fast to sort of plan anything. We had no idea what was going on, what was going to happen throughout that set. I thought he'd have a hit up, we'd shift the ball a couple of times, try and, come up with something out of nothing, but they probably kicked it to the wrong player in Dave Taylor.
Oh.
Throughout the year, he'd come up with some head scratch plays where he'd be at hooker, he'd scoot out, he'd put a grubber through the line.
That's right.
Pick it up above his head and put it down at his toes in the space of a metre. not too many players in our game that could do that, let alone someone who's 120, 130 kilos. So for them to kick it to him was probably a blessing. Whether they teed that up in the corner, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Big Dave's always got something going.
But Dave's got something in his mind.
Yeah.
Credit to the boys on that left-hand side of the field there. They reacted. I think McQueen was involved. Mero was involved again, and then Isaac. And I was just trailing up the middle, just thinking, if you get a quick play of the ball, we're on here. And Isaac sort of looked around, and there was about 6 people out to the right who were unmarked, and he happened to hear my voice and, threw it back to me. And luckily I'm 4 foot tall and didn't have to bend over too far to pick the ball up. And it wasn't too far to run to the lines.
Brilliant try.
But it was good. We got to, we've seen fans leaving the game early, and that hurts as a player.
It does.
You never want your own fans leaving, and to see them all come rushing back through the stadium was a great feeling. But, I didn't realise at the time we were actually a draw after scoring that try. I still had to go and kick the goal. Luckily enough, it was right beside the post. And
they're sometimes the hardest ones, aren't they?
It was a chip shot, so it wasn't
easy, eh?
Yeah.
Right, sorry, you just went back in time there.
I get. Wayne gets you. You talk about that. You get beaten in the prelim. New coach takes a little bit of time. You're captain, but COVID hits.
Yep.
But in that time, mate, your life is it's a shit show, like off the field in the sense, like, and you've got a book coming out later on in the year, and I think it's in October, and it's very much a personal intake. But your life off the field's in turmoil, as well as now South Sydney are saying, "Hang on, we don't know what's going on." You've got Wayne there. Wayne's leaving in 22. Yeah, 21,
yep.
And it's up in the air. Can we just focus a little bit, and I understand, and obviously there's a lot of personal stuff in the book that you're going to release, but, I mean, you and Talara broke up for a little while, and then obviously there was a lot going on. You had 4 kids, and, mate, you didn't even know where your future was going to be.
Yeah, it was a tough part of my life, but I think one thing I've been really good at is sort of parking the emotions to the side and focusing on what I need to at that time. Whether if I'm at home, I'm focusing on the family. If I'm at the game, I'm focusing on the game, training, trying to get better. So I was sort of lucky that COVID had sort of parked itself a little bit there. We could resume footy, so that was a distraction for me, my personal life. But it was a really tough part of my life. It was hard to navigate through that time, and sort of if I had that guidance from Wayne, I don't know where I would have been.
Wayne saved your marriage.
Yeah.
Wayne saved your marriage.
Yeah, he saved it.
He saved a lot of marriages.
Yeah. Well, he saved Reyno's.
He's very good at reading the room, and I probably wasn't giving out too much, and he sort of just grabbed me aside one day and goes, "What's up?" And then, you open up because he gets the trust of the person, and for him to give you a bit of guidance and then regularly check in and see what's going on and how you're going and everything like that. So
was that through COVID, Reyno?
That was, through, I think it was the end of
2020, 21, yeah. 2020, yeah.
End of
right.
20, yeah.
Well, that's the year that you made the grand final again.
No, we made the prelim.
They made the prelim. In 21, they made the grand final. You guys all relocated to Queensland. And that's the year that Kevie took over, because Kevie took over at Brisbane.
Yep.
In 21.
In 21, and he came down to see you. So you guys are obviously going through, because you... We'll talk about that. We'll talk about
I think that stage we'd worked out.
You'd worked out your marriage, you and
like
Talara.
A happy couple.
Well, they just you were just coming off a bad time, and it's all in the book, and obviously there. Wayne saved your marriage in 20, but Kevie comes down. We've got to talk about how upset you were that with the South Sydney decision. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to get too much, and there's no blame, but. Yeah. You talked about at the very beginning. You grew up running the streets of Redfern. You're a housing commission kid from Redfern. You absolutely love that club. And then they say, mate, you can have a year. You can have a year deal. And it wasn't Wayne's decision. It was, it was obviously how upset.
Yeah, it was frustrating through that time because all you want to do is stay at the club and finish your career there and potentially have a long career post-football there as well. So that was the hard thing. We sort of got to the negotiation table and, outlined, we wanted 2 years, and it was on half of the money that I wanted, or half of the money that I was on the previous year. So it wasn't about money. It wasn't about anything else other than the 2 years. And we couldn't get to an agreement there. They tossed up a 1 year offer, and then things sort of started getting leaked in the media. My body wasn't well, couldn't train, this and that, whether, that was them or not. I don't know to this day the exact reason, but that sort of, tipped me off a little bit. And
Well, you were going to the Sharks, though, till this big fella got on the plane.
I was
like
pretty
you were,
much done at
you were done at the Sharks. I mean, people have brought in. Can we talk about? I'm going to just leave you not when he rocks up with Dave. Like these
Well,
two
I
rock up.
couldn't believe it that we got the opportunity to walk into your house.
Yeah, how did that even happen? Like, it did.
Like I just
Did
thought, they said Adam Reynolds is available. Would you like to? What do you think about Adam Reynolds? I said, let's book a plane. Let's go.
Do you remember this when he turned up?
have a jet. No.
No private jet.
What happened, Ren? Do you remember? Because you and Talara, you'd say you'd had some real dramas in your marriage. You're there now, South Sydney doing this, and then he rocks up.
I remember walking in the door and I thought, well, this is a lovely. The home had a lovely ambience about it, like it was full of love.
They love a candle, the Reynolds family. They
we
do
do
love a candle. They love a candle.
Walking in, with you and
Yeah, well,
there.
home's a special place, and we always want to make it welcoming.
Sort of I think they were in there, but they were in and out. Sitting at the table.
They
there.
might have been upstairs.
Yeah.
The game. Or
So what happened, Ren? Like, had you even contemplated Brisbane? Obviously, you'd played them a lot. Had you ever contemplated Brisbane?
Yeah, I always wanted to move north post football, and I didn't know whether that'd be a Gold Coast or Brisbane or.
Well, you did let
Sunny
me know
Coast.
that at the negotiating table. Hey, sneaky little fella.
Yeah.
I want to move to Queensland. Didn't even let Kev know. Oh, David could have taken a zero off the contract.
So you when that came there, and you were done to the Sharks. That was the
I was close. I really liked what Fitzy was building at the Sharks, or he was about to take over. I'd met with, their execs or whatnot, higher up, done some medicals, and was pretty much about to sign. It wasn't until Kev and Dave flew down to Sydney to, pitch their idea. And
Yeah.
I think from the moment Kev walked in the door, we had an instant connection. And
Yeah.
obviously,
That's what I said. I walked in, I thought, wow, this is
He rang
a lovely
me. He rang me, and he said, "Mate, we're a real." He said, "I don't want to get my hopes up, but we're a real chance." Like that's how you felt after the meeting. You said, "We're a real chance."
Well, we took a jersey down with number 7 on it, and a Broncos jersey. And when I pulled it out, I just having a bit of fun with thinking because it was Dave's idea, which is he's obviously used that before in in trying to get players to clubs. And when I pulled it out, I could see him. He looked at it, and I could see a smile on the inside, but he didn't show any emotion. But I could tell he looked at it, and I said, "Mate, there's a jersey with 7 on it." I said, "You have to try it on now, but just have a look at it when we go, and we'll get back to you in the next couple of days." I thought he's gonna, as soon as we walk out the door, he's gonna try that jersey on.
I didn't try it on.
No, I know.
I didn't try it on. I sat there and looked at it for a while, and I've always admired Brisbane from afar. A big, powerful club, similar to South Sydney.
Yeah.
The fans are fantastic. There's a lot of history there, albeit it's only been around for a short period of time. There was so much history, and so many great players have worn the jersey, and to obviously be able to, try and add to that and
Contribute. Which
contribute and
amazing.
make your own legacy and try and create something special there was, something that I thought about. And
Did you and Talara come up and have a look?
yeah, I've never been outside of the city when I signed with Brisbane, so I'd only ever been up to play.
In Brisbane and stayed at the hotel, and that was it.
stayed
So
in
what
the
you
city.
came up, snuck up, and just had a bit of a look around.
Once we'd signed, we'd pretty much come up to try and find where to live. I had no idea about any place, and
Schools, you needed schools for your
schools.
kids.
Wayne was a big help in firstly getting me, my mind in the right space about getting to the club. He said a lot of great things about the club and about the area itself. And from that moment on, I'd sort of gone to Wayne for some tips. And unfortunately, Wayne's bank balance is a bit better than mine. It's,
He was saying live at Paddington.
Paddington, Indooroopilly, all these on the water. It's a beautiful spot.
Yeah, you liked a bit of space.
Yeah, I liked a bit of space. So we'd came from, a 4-bedroom house in Sydney, 350 size block to
Square metres.
which is a big a big block in Sydney from where I'm from. And then you come up to Brisbane and you see this,
You got an acre now, haven't you? You got a full acre.
Yeah, but his house,
Mate, it's a palatial. It's like, we won't say where it is, but
the block.
Mate,
that lived on in Sydney, and
he's got his own cinema. He's got his own movie cinema.
It was a tough process to try and find a house, though. I think we got
and
lucky.
Schools and that too. Reyno.
Schools, I think firstly we wanted to make sure we were in a good area for the kids, and then school, we could find a good school from there.
You've done all that. That was the best thing ever. Like, it's been the best, and we'll get to that. That year you sign, you do it early. Kev's happy, 21. South's go on a run. Wayne's last year he's going to the Dolphins. You get to the grand final. It's at Suncorp Stadium. The only time we haven't had a grand final outside of Sydney, it's here where you're going to be. You've been up here for a long period of time. The whole competition shifted to Queensland.
Yep.
The kick.
Yeah,
We've got to talk about it. Like, you guys were right. Penrith go on a run then. They'd lost one. This is their time.
Yep.
I know there was an intercept pass, but there was a kick there by you in that time. And I've seen you and I've filmed you in that place a million times since.
Yeah.
Do you think about it?
Yeah, I think about it. I probably hit it too good, to be fair. I usually swing them in a fair bit. And that one sort of just held straight and swung back the other way. So I'd probably connected a bit better than I'd liked. But I remember leading up to it, I had a little tear in my groin the week before, and I was unsure whether I was going to play the prelim. And I let Tuffy take over the goal kicking, and he was a fair goal kicker himself. So I often think about that as well, whether I gave him the opportunity to have the shot. But I didn't want to put that pressure on a young kid.
No.
So I tried to do everything possible. I spent hours and hours on the physio table to get myself right, so I could, if I needed to have the opportunity, that I'd be right to take it. And I wouldn't do anything different. I'd still,
It's just a football.
Yeah,
gods,
but I'll ask you this: if Latrell hasn't been suspended, does South Sydney win that game?
Yeah, I think so. Look, I still think we had opportunities to win that game. I mean, Cam Murray makes a break with 3 or 4 minutes to go, and there's no one in support, which we'd been good at all year. I think we'd exhausted a lot of energy. We exhausted a lot of energy. Penrith do that to you. They're a great side. They physically put it to you for 80 minutes, and in those moments where you usually are, I think if you switch off for 2 seconds or a second, it can hurt you in the end. So we talk about the intercept, we talk about the goal kick, but there's so many moments throughout that game that could have changed the outcome. All
right, you come in 22, you join the club. You get a golf partner who's a great mate, who's a great golfer.
Charity golfer.
Yeah. Anyway, but that is about it. But Ren, 23. It's a breakout year for the club again. Kevie's got them back. You guys are flying. I remember 10 weeks out, I looked at the draw and just the way you guys are playing, and I've got to be honest, I got this feeling about this year with you guys again. I said to Kev, you guys are going to make the grand final. You're going to go wrong. And he's like, calm down. But there was no team. You're unstoppable. You're unstoppable. You get to Penrith. Have you watched the game? I mean, you've watched it. Have you watched the grand final since?
Yeah, I've watched it. I think it's important to reflect and learn on certain situations. And it's a tough one because we were in such a commanding spot at the time, and I think we hung on so desperately in that first half where we could have been down by 20.
Oh, my God. The fact that it was 8-6, I think it was 8-6 at half-time.
We were in front, 8-6. Remember, Flegg scored right on half-time. And sitting in there, anyway, you go.
Yeah, I think they were 8-6.
They were 8-6. They were leading at half-time.
So
Flegg scored on the bell.
To be down by 2 with the amount of possession they had, and, they'd played a perfect half. They had no errors. They had no penalties pretty much. So we were pretty much camped on our try line. We'd made a few errors. And then you think about little moments throughout the game where you could have been better individually, and that's the stuff that will stick with you forever. So, there's moments where I could have been better.
Does it burn you? I know it burns him. Does it burn you?
Yeah, because it's just about the effort that you put in, not only through that year, but the previous year. I mean, we'd made some big inroads. Kev presented a really good game plan for us, and we went out and executed that through parts of 22. Unfortunately, we fell away at the back end there, but we regained that in 23 and went on this unbelievable run where, we just felt sort of invincible. Like we, put teams away, and
it was so much fun.
It was one of the most enjoyable years I've ever had. The coaches were fantastic. The players, we all bought into what we were trying to achieve, and it sort of gets overshadowed by that last bit there. But you go back to that season, and it was a hell of a season.
I reckon. Sorry, just butting in here, and the 26-0 win over the Storm in the preliminary final was probably one of the greatest games that a Broncos team has played. And I'm being serious there. To beat the Storm at home. Do you remember that night, Reyno?
Well, we'd broken the curse.
So we you did. That's right.
We broke the curse earlier on.
Triple M.
We had a witch. We had a witch cast a spell on them. But anyway, go on.
I don't remember that now. He said, I'm going to get you over the line this weekend. I said, oh, come on, how are you going to do that, Dobbo?
We got a witch. We got a witch to burn. He burned a Storm jersey in a fire pit, cast a spell on him.
You should have burned a Penrith one the week later, mate.
I've got to ask you both. I mean, you're both great mates. It's funny. Kev, I know you just instantly got an instant. You said to me, mate, I got an instant connection with, and you the same. You're great mates. So to go through that hurt together, it was a very difficult time for the club, for both of you, because you're such close friends, and it burnt you both. Like probably, I reckon 23 burnt you, Ren, more than it burnt the 21 grand final. Like,
yeah, they all hurt. I think. Moving on to a new club gives you a different focus. So from that loss in 21, you could shift your focus a bit more, and you don't have the players around you that have just experienced the same loss. So it still hurts, 21. But yeah, when you're at 23 and you move on the next year and you still carry those sort of divots, it definitely plays a part into hurting a bit more.
Does it piss you off that you're only defined, and I say this, a lot of commentary is you're defined on those two moments. Like I said, the big moments. Like you've won that many games for Brisbane, that many games for South, you've got them out of you got them there. But in some ways, in different areas, he couldn't get it done in 21, he couldn't get it done in 23.
I think you've been a bit hard.
No, I don't think that. I'm just saying that's some of the commentary.
Well,
Tom, does that, do you ever, you have, we've talked about it. Does it piss you off?
No, it doesn't bother me.
Mate, football gods.
What defines me is where I've come from, like giving kids in Housing Commission hope. So I think football's a game, and we get attached to the results and whatnot, but
100%
for people who live and breathe hardship every day of their life, for someone who's lived that and then come out the other end and showed there's a pathway, I think that's the legacy that
great stuff, Reyno. Like it is just a game.
Yeah.
Like I've had my highs and lows in the game as well, like you have, and you're still going, and so am I, but it is just a game. It's a big.
All it is.
It's a big game.
Yeah. It's made up rules. It's a game made up that we all. Yeah.
And,
mate, can I ask you this? Obviously, this year, like you've got your book coming out. Can you just tell us why a book now?
I think for those reasons that people are going through some sort of hardship in their life. I think when you can relate or tell your story to try and help someone, I think it's bigger than where I've been from or, where I'm going. I think rugby league's such a great platform to tell your story, and I think there's more players out there that have great stories that need to be told.
Yeah, 100%.
And if you can help someone in your life or someone that you don't know going through a bit of struggle, well, then it's worth it.
Do you realise how much this book, and I'm not going to share it, but you've read it to me, it is as vulnerable, I reckon, as you've ever been, and it is going to put shockwaves
be a
out.
bestseller.
Yeah, are you prepared for what's going to happen? What's going to come with this book?
Yeah, it's sort of the unexpected. I mean, you get good and bad from both sides. I think I'm gonna cop some from some people. I'm going to get some people who reach out and say thank you for telling your story, but it's those ones that I'll hang on to rather than the bashers. And rugby league's such a great game for the hard-working people of Australia, and not only Australia but in the world, I suppose. And if you can touch someone or help someone on the outside, well, rugby league's presented me the opportunity to do that, so why not tell the story?
Righto.
Can you win the comp this year?
100%.
100% they can. Mate.
You reckon you can?
100%.
We've got to get the Kratzmann holidays, mate.
We're
sponsored by Kratzmann
Caravan too.
Where you towing it to, mate? With the family, you got the family in tow.
Good and bad. The caravan gets me to Coffs Harbour perfectly, but my kids play a lot of sports, so Oztags, Carnival's always in Coffs Harbour, so it's only a short trip down the road there. Beautiful New South Wales, great spot. My daughter's playing for Queensland, so
she's a Queenslander, mate. Yeah, 4 kids are Queenslanders.
Happy and sad moment. Obviously,
that's a happy moment, mate.
Proud of the daughter, but yeah, it's not a good looking jersey.
Good on you, mate.
Good on you, Reyno. Thanks for joining us, mate. We love you, and good luck for the rest of the year. I reckon you boys can win the grand final again. I'm sure we'll be back there.
I think they can.
Yeah, definitely. Good show as anyone. Thanks for joining us, mate. Good luck with the book and all the clothing as well. We love it. I'm going to go for a run.
And your golf swing. It needs improvement.
Thanks, Reyno.
Thank you.
Love you, big fella.
Cheers.